A quick update on the DTT broadcasting issues in Italy. This is becoming more and more an area of interest, particularly after the lifting of certain barriers and corporate requirements and other requirements, for instance, the ones relating to the minimum number of employees. There are more and more opportunities and more parties interested in the Italian market, with a lot of opportunities for new business ventures. The renewed Italian Communications Authority was very active. In the end of September, it released the draft regulations for the awarding of the new digital frequencies, the so-called DTT bid. The draft regulation was submitted to the European Commission for its comments. There was some delay, and the market is very eager to see the outcome. In the meantime, the Italian Communications Authority published a new draft regulation on the LCN, the logical channel numbering. As we mentioned in the previous post, the Italian broadcasting sector is very heavily regulated by court rulings. A new regulation on the LCN was in fact required by a court ruling that was published in the end of August. So the AGCOM, and this is how we call here the Italian Communications Authority, has to start the process all over again. It made a new draft regulation which is subject to consultation. The new regulation will then have to be formally issued within 180 days from the start of the consultation. In the meantime, the current numbers that have been allocated to the content providers have been kept frozen, and the AGCOM will also have to carry out a new survey to assess the viewers' habits that will have to be firstly taken into account to specifically assign the numbers to each content provider. A lot of comments have already been made with regards to the draft regulation recently submitted to consultation. The AGCOM had to take into account the court rulings and certain parts of the court rulings that were particularly contradictory. For instance, the court ruled that certain channels should not be allocated certain numbers because they should not be considered as generalist channels. However, the court failed to take into account the fact that such channels can only be generalist, because if they were not generalist before, they would have not been awarded the analog license as it happened. It will now be vital to see how the AGCOM will readdress such contradictions. And in fact, looking at the regulation now, it seems that AGCOM went also beyond the court rulings. It inserted new definitions of native digital channels, thematic channels, including, for instance, semi-generalist channels that will have to include 3 different genres of different programming, teens and children channels, and so on. Such definitions will no doubt install and ignite a debate. Also very interesting is the opportunity for the newcomers to get allocated some premium numbers. In fact, the current regulations provides for a 30% quota reserved to newcomers. A good number in the first decades of the numbering assigned within the LCN means very likely a higher audience and accordingly higher revenues. So to sum up, the situation remains very dynamic. And if you want to tell your view within this consultation process, hurry up. It will end up within 30 days from publication in the official gazette. We will further update you and let you know the outcome. Thank you.